Hello and welcome to another quick video with CampusFlow once again. So in this video, we are going to learn step by step how we can create exams on CampusFlow, how we can schedule exams, how we can set up exams, and how we can create our various exams distributions and all that, right? At this point, I would want to believe you've already subscribed to CampusFlow. Okay, if you haven't done that, you can check the link in the video description, or you click on www.campusflow.school and have your school subscribed. I'll also be leaving the links to other videos that will guide you step by step on how to subscribe to CampusFlow. So basically, that is that. Let's dive right into today's video. So right now, here I am on my dashboard once again as an admin. So to create exams, what we need to do is to scroll down and click on Exams Master. So the first thing we would have to do is to click on Exams. So under Exams, you click on Exams Term. So under the various terms, maybe you have something like term 1, term 2, term 3, or whatever. You just go ahead and name them like that. So I have term 1, let me save that. And then also maybe term 2, and then let me save that. And then the third one, term 3. So whatever the names of your various exams are, you can go ahead and write that. So from there, we proceed to Exams Hall or Exam Hall. You click on that. So here, it depends on where you would want the various exams to be written, the various halls or classes in your school, okay? And this is optional, right? If you wish, you can add that, right? But it should be added. So now, let me say hall number 1, then the number of seats for that hall is, let's say, 40, and I'll save that. Then hall number 2, then the number of seats is probably also 40, then you save. And we have hall number 3, then the number of seats is also 40, then you save. So with this, you have just created the various exams hall. So the next thing for us to do is to click on exams or distribution. So the distribution has to do with how your exams is structured. Let's say you would want to include the various class tests, the homeworks, project works onto your exams sheet or whatever. So all those things are going to be included inside the distribution. And also the various marks are allocated to all of them, right? That is what we are going to be looking at that. So now let's look at that. So once you click on distribution, under here, the first thing we are going to do is, let me just use class score and exam score in my case. Okay, let me just split it into two where I have class score and exam score. So the class score consists of the various project works, the various exercises, the various tests. All that has to do with what? Class score. And then the sum or the total marks for that is also there. And now the next one has to do with what? Also the exams, okay? And then the total exams, the mark is also there. So now here, let me just go ahead and say class score. There we go, and click on save. And then the next one I have is, let's say, exams or exams score, and then I'll click on save. So now I have these two. So now the next thing we are going to do is to go to exam setup. This is where we are going to set up our exams. So click on exam setup. So under here, we are going to go ahead and click on create exams. So here, the name of exams, probably, let's say, end of term exams, end of term 1 exams, okay, end of term 1 exams, right? Okay, or end of term exams, okay, end of term exam, that's the name. So now the term is, let's say, term 1, exams type. So here we have the marks, we have the grade GP, and then we have the marks and grade, okay? So here I would want to go for the marks and grade, so I'll choose that, right? So the marks distribution. For here we have the class score as well as what? The exam score. So the sum of class score and exam score gives us the total score for the student for the exams. And then the remarks, here we can just type something like maybe grading. Okay. And once we are done, you would want to click on publish. And once you're done with this, you just click on save. So now you have just set up your exams for the first term, right? So basically that is that. So now the next thing is we need to create our mark sheet template. So to do that, what we are going to do is to click on mark sheet template. Let's click on that. So under the mark sheet template, click on add template. So here we are going to fill in all these details here that matches how we would want our student exams sheet or report sheet to look like. So here, what we are going to do here is just to design a template, and then the system will take care of the rest. So now what we are going to do is, let's just give the template a name. So let me just call it mark sheet template. So the layout, let me make it portrait. If you would want to make it landscape, you go ahead and choose that, but portrait is better. So the user photo style or the profile picture of the student, you would want it to be either in square or round, so the square is better. And then we leave this as it is. Now the line spacing for all this should be 20-20. So here 20, here as well 20, here as well 20, and then here as well 20. There we go. So now the next thing we are going to do is to choose the various signatures. Let's say you have some images or logos that you would want to use as signature on the various reports for each and every student. So you can click on browse here and grab those images and go ahead and use them. I'll prefer going for just the logo. Okay, let me quickly browse my desktop and go to desktop files and then locate my logo. Okay, just locate my logo here, and there we go. So I have my logo here. I'll just click on this to choose my logo. Now the background image, if you want to use another image as background, you can go ahead and choose that. I'm leaving that for now. Now we have the header content, the content for the header. What are some of the details you would want to have at the header section of the student report? So these are the variables here. You just click on them and then you have them entered in here. I would want to go for the student name, the gender, then the student photo, registered number of the student, academic session, the class of the student, the section of the student, the category of the student, and then I think the exam name. And then since I didn't include left middle signature, I'll leave them no. And then the logo, I also want to have the logo, and also the name of the institute or the institution name, and then the institution email, the institution address. Okay, and then institution mobile number if possible, so you add that. So all these things will be at the header section of the student reports template. So now the footer section, what we want to have at the footer section, that is the bottom. So with the bottom, make sure this is unchecked for the first time. For the bottom, we would want to have the principal comment, the teacher comment, and also the print date as well, and probably if possible the class. Okay, that is okay at the bottom section. So once we have all these things created, now the exams or the mark sheet template is ready. What we are going to do is to click on save. So now to view the mark sheet template you've just created, you can just click on this and then you viewed it. This is just a template, right? So this is what is going to be used to populate and get our student report generated, and we'll be seeing that in a couple of videos to come up. So now from here we can just proceed. Let's just click on escape. Let me just click on close this, and there we go. So from here as well, if you want to edit anything, you can just click here and then you go ahead and do whatever editing you would want to do. So once you have everything done, you click on update and then you have that as well. So basically that is that. So with this, we have just created all the necessary things we need to get exams started. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is let's just go ahead and create the schedule, the exam schedule. So to do that, we just click on schedule here, and then here what we are going to do is to click on schedule. So at this point there wouldn't be any schedule. Okay, so now let's go for class and go for session and see something filter. You will be told there is no schedule. So what we are going to do is to add a schedule. So you click on add a schedule. So once you click on add a schedule, what you need to do is to go ahead and then click on this. So the exams, and then the class you would want to do that for, let's say class 1, you want to create a schedule for, and then the section class 1A, and then filter. So here you are going to determine the time the exam is going to start, okay, and then the duration, and then the exams hall. Those are the things you are going to be doing here, which is going to be included in the schedule of the exams. Okay, so here for now we have the time to be 2:20 p.m. okay, so now the exam duration, you would want to give it, let's say 1 hour. Okay, so 1 hour, so just leave it like this, 1 hour. And then the rooms, so let's say this is going to be inside room 1, so you select the room. Then the class score, you would want to have it like 50, and then the mark or the pass mark, let's say out of 50, if the student get 30, it's a pass mark. And then the exam score, the full score is also going to be 50, and then the pass mark also, let's say 30. So once you are done, just go ahead and click on apply, and this will be applied to all the various let's say the various subjects you have here. So far we have just 2 subjects, right? So this one will be written on the 20th of February, this one will be written on 21st of February. So basically that is a schedule. If there is any changes you would want to do, you can go ahead and do that here, and then before you click on save. That is about the time, the duration, and everything. whatever you would want to change here, you can go ahead and do the changes. So once everything is set up here, what you need to do is to go ahead and click on save. So once you click on save, you have this saying information has been saved successfully, meaning you have just scheduled the exam. So now let's go back to another schedule again. So this is for class 1 section A, right? Class 1A. Let's do similar for class 2A as well. So let's go to schedule, and then let's go to add schedule. Let's go to this, then the class 2, and then the section 2B. That is 2A rather, and then we click on filter. So here we're going to follow the same steps. So the exams duration, let's say 45 minutes, we write 45, and then the room to be used for this, let's say you want to go for room 2. The full mark for the class score is 50. Then the pass mark is, let's say, 30, so you fill that. Full mark for the exam score is, let's say, 50. Then the pass mark is also, let's say, 30, right? You fill that as well. So once you have that, just click on apply. So this will be applied to all the subjects. So far you have just 2 subjects. Okay, so once you are good to go with everything here as well, you can change the date, you can modify the date, and then once you are okay with everything here based on how your exams are scheduled, then you go ahead and then click on save. So once we have this, we also have our exams scheduled. So now everything is now set and then up and running, and we are ready to have our students start taking their exams. So basically that is that. So now the next thing we have to do is create the various grade ranges, right? We need to create the various grade ranges. So to do that, let's click on marks here, and then click on grade range. So just click on this grade range. So here what you are going to do is to click on create grade range, and here the name of the grade range. Okay, the name of the grade range. So let's say this grade is, let's say, A, and then the grade point is, let's say, 4.0. okay, that is the grade point, and then the minimum percentage, or the minimum percentage is like the minimum from what to the above, or to what would you want to give the person grade A. Let's say the minimum is 90, and then the maximum is what, 100. So now the remarks is going to be something like excellent for this particular one. So you go ahead, it's just like the grading system for your school. So you go ahead and follow this and do exactly how your school grading system works. So once you are okay with this, you go ahead and click on save. Now you click the second one. The second one we have, let's say, is B. Okay, so the grade point is, let's say, 3.0, and then the minimum is probably, let's say, 80, and then the maximum is, let's say, 90, right? And then from here we click on this, and then that is probably should be, let's say, good, and then we click on save. So now the third one we have, which is C, in the grade point, let's say, also you have 2.0, then the minimum is let's say 70, and then the maximum is 80, right? And then the remarks is, let's say, satisfactory. Then we click on save, and then let's add this, probably another one, let's say D. In the grade point is, let's say, 1.0, and the percentage, the maximum is, let's say, 70, the minimum is, let's say, 60, and then the maximum is, let's say, 70, right? And then the remarks is, let's say, needs improvement, and then we click on save. And then the last one is, let's say, we have the E, and then the grade point is 0.00, or with whatever your exams grading system is, you go ahead and capture that from here. And then the minimum is, let's say, the minimum should be, let's make it like 40, and then the maximum should be around, let's say, 50. Okay, 50. And then the remarks is, let's say, we would want to say, let's say, fail, or whatever remarks you would want to give, then you go ahead and add that as well. So with this, you've just added the various grade ranges. So basically that is that. So with this, we have everything that has to do with exams up and running. So basically that is that on how to set up exams on CampusFlow. So with this, by following these steps, you should be able to set up everything that has to do with exams. Okay, so in our next video, we are going to see how we can log in as a teacher or the class teacher and do marks entries. Okay, so in this video, we're able to create the various exams terms, the grade ranges, create our mark sheet template, and everything that has to do with exams. So like I said, in our next video, we are going to be covering how we can log in as a class teacher and do the entries of the various marks for our student for each and every class. So basically that is that. If you haven't subscribed to CampusFlow, check the link in the video description. Subscribe to CampusFlow, okay? If you've already done that, then you go ahead and follow the videos on this channel to make sure you follow the video step by step to get everything right and enjoy these amazing features of CampusFlow. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you can get updated on the videos or the tutorials that will be coming up for advanced features on CampusFlow. So basically, that is that. Thank you so much, and see you.